Hi, this is Raylan, and I wanted to make a quick video, just kind of more of a lighthearted video in a sense, just updating you guys on what I feel are the things that have helped me the most get through life having tattoos, or 5 ways that I've learned to handle life the best while having tattoos. Because when I first started getting them on my 18th birthday, um, I was really fast to jump and get quite a few that I had been planning since I was quite a bit younger, and I don't regret any of them, to be honest. But when you get heavily, noticeably tattooed, I got my chest done quickly, and my forearms actually done, which it, as much as, yeah, it shouldn't seem like a big deal, and today it's not. Everybody has them. For somebody my age, it definitely is a big deal. You know, when you're somebody who's 30 or over 30, it definitely, it matters. It mattered back then. I had, within within the first month of me having gotten my first tiny tattoo, I had my whole back done. Didn't, not my whole upper shoulders, but my whole back up to between my upper shoulder blades. Um, and it was really quick. That then it went to, within 4 months of that, having a big part of my chest piece done and a big part of my forearms done, and excuse me, forearm, not forearms. And it was just, I knew what I wanted. I had been working for quite a few years by that point, and before I could legally be working in a retail setting, I was working at stables, cleaning and doing horseback riding lessons and things that brought in more of a cash revenue. So I was saving and setting aside money to get tattoos. So when I went to get them, I went and had the finances to go and get them. So needless to say, I got a ton of criticism, and it was something that, to me, I mean, my tattoos were to tell my life story, that scars that I needed covered from childhood and things, that these were really important pictures to depict these life events that were awful, that I was turning into something beautiful. So to have just these crude and cruel comments, it used to really hurt. And so I I've learned that it's very important to understand how bigoted people are, how how people have always judged based on weight, based on skin color, based on gender, based on things that we have. Who cares? It doesn't affect me at all what somebody else looks like. What, as long as they're not putting something like a slur on them, something that is, something like severe, sensually explicit acts put on them to where you wouldn't want your kids to see it. I feel like as long as you're not doing things like that, there's no reason for any outrage. Just like it's it's fine to have an opinion, but it's not it's not helpful to tell me your opinion on tattoos, because there's nothing I can do right now. It could be helpful to tell somebody who's never gotten one, or who only has one, but it's useless to tell me. So it always baffled me why these people would reach out and why they would be wasting their breath. It's the same thing when I hear people saying things that are just, I don't even know, just everything from being ju- judgmental of somebody's pronouns, or being fat phobic, or whatever it may be. It's that person cannot in that moment, well, one, nobody can change who they are, as far as you can't change if you're transgender, you can't change if you're gay, you can't change those things. But somebody who is obese can't change in that moment and become a fitness guru, and they might have a lot more going on. They might have health problems, they might have a thyroid issue, they might have a lot mentally going on there you don't know. And it baffles me why people feel the need to isolate and make these people feel bad. It's one thing to reach out and care and want to help if there's something health related and it's somebody that you care about, but when it's something as ridiculous as being homosexual, or being a certain race, or having tattoos, like something that you're not going to change, because it can't be changed. And obviously, some of those things are very light and some of those things are very heavy on that list. But it just baffles me that it's it's something that people feel a need to walk up and talk about. And I've felt the need to be there for people and to kind of bark back against some of my friends who have experienced some of the other areas, not just tattoo related, and stand up for them when people were to approach them and say things that just is baffling to me. And now that it's kind of been a while in life for me, it's been a lot of bad things have happened and a lot of awakening things have happened. I see that there are just so many people who are just ignorant and that just see the world in their bubble, and they don't realize that they're the only person who thinks exactly like them. So it's so ignorant for them to go at someone else and throw their opinions and throw their views, right ways, directly at them. It is such a wrong way of thinking and acting, and wasting your time arguing with those people, trying to get them to agree with you and with your thoughts, is just, it's just going to make you more upset. It's just going to make the situation worse, and it's just making you stoop down to their level. And it's something that I wish I could go back 12, 13 years and talk to my younger self and be like, look, this is something that is a lot of stuff's about to be showing on you. Like, more and more as the days go on, or as it's already started. It would have already started by now. But stop mouthing off and just take a breath and realize it's their ignorance, it's their mind, and realize that there's nothing wrong with getting artwork. If you want to get it on your face, get it on your face. I don't have any on my face, and I've always wanted to have one just on my forehead, a white ink, even though yes, it'll turn more yellow, but like a white ink or a like soft pink snowflake, one that's very specific, one that I cut and drew a stencil of when I was really young. I've always wanted to do that, but again, I've held back to this day, and I'm heavily tattooed, and I have my neck and the sides of both sides of my neck done, and my throat, and like I've got my hands are just. I mean, I've got all the spots that you would think would you'd hesitate to do, but I've hesitated to do other things that matter to me. So if I could have any advice to you, it's don't don't hesitate. Don't don't put anybody's mindset first. I would hesitate if you want something very graphic or something that could be a slur or really vulgar to history as far as to the Jews or to anybody. But other than things along those lines, I really wish I could have made a few choices and went forward a few times that I didn't. I I regret not doing the things that I wish I did, basically. Um, and then I know that I've had a few people ask, well, what if, you get something that you need covered? Or would you ever get one lasered or removed? I've never had one lasered. I, I know, thankfully, two tattoo artists that I've seen the most dark black of black ball looking things. They just looked like a solid, huge black ball. And the one was able to cover it up beautifully. And it wasn't a big black piece. Had blacks to it, but it wasn't just black, and it was beautiful. And I have another artist who was actually apprenticed by that person, who's just as fantastic, if not even better, with cover-ups. So I never really feared getting a cover-up, but they both have been in my life since the beginning, and I'm trying to think, it's not many, but I've had two. I'm trying to think. I've got a migraine, I apologize. I had two cover-ups of people's names that I don't regret getting. I've got people's names on me that I keep on me because I think it's part of your story to keep it. But I was very pressured into getting one of the names, and actually got it covered right in front of the person who pressured me into getting it. And then the other name, I had it really, really small, and that was one that I'd gotten it covered up into part of a crow, and I don't regret doing that at all. But other than those, I have a heart that covers a little glass that I had tattooed on my wrist, and I think that's about it for things that I ended up covering. I otherwise in the well over 200 hours of tattoos that I have now, I I don't have any regrets. There's nothing else I'd cover or change or do differently with. I've got one that was done in a hurry by a tattoo artist of mine who was amazing and did amazing work. And once his home life started going, he started getting sloppy, and I didn't know that until I saw it that day, and that was that. Um, it was just a mess, and the tattoo is little, but it just the color and everything fell out, so that needs to get touched up. Um, but other than that, needing to get touched up, everything's good. And I think another thing that I wish I would have believed sooner is I was told by so many people that, oh well, you're gonna forget that you have tattoos. And when I had like one on my forearm and like just like my back and chest done, like I thought about it all the time. I thought about, you have like, it's like I have a tattoo, and now like that I'm loaded, there's so many times where someone will be like, nice tattoos. I was in a hoodie with the hood up, full long sleeve hoodie the other day, and I was walking down the street and it was covering all the way down to my fingers. Like, the fingers were all that was out. And someone's like, I like your tattoos. All I could have seen is this and my fingers. Like, barely my fingers. And I was just baffled. I was like, wow, I can be pretty heavily covered. You can still look at me and be like, nice work. So I think it's remarkable, the things that just you think of and you kind of laugh, like, oh, they're just saying that. Oh, that's interesting. It's got to be because they're an artist, that they're around them all the time, so they don't think it personally, like about their own art. And then you hear it, and it's amazing to like feel it in your own personal life. But I wish so much for my own kids that they would get tattoos in their own lives, even if it's one, just something one day, because I think for the feeling of it, for what it does to you, to go through the experience in life, and not, I mean, a good, like, go to a good tattoo artist at a reputable place, do things the right way with the right experience, like, do things the way it should be done. And I think that is something that, it's an experience I want for my kids to have. And I want them to know that they can always feel exactly the way that they want to. If they love something, if they think it's beautiful, if they want to do something, then they can go for it. I'll be there for them. If it's important to them, then let's go, let's do it. But I don't want them to feel like they have to hesitate just because it's it's something that someone could judge. Just like, if one of my daughters or both of them or whatever it may be, if they're curvy or plus size, I want them to wear a crop top and a skirt. I want them to be happy. I don't want them to be hiding themselves. I'm not even a $130, and I'm terrified to wear a tank top. I don't want that for my family. I don't want that for my girls. So I just I hope that things like the open-mindedness of the world keep moving forward in a constructive way, and in a way that it can really start bringing people together, because the world is just in such a torn apart state right now. It's the last thing that we need is to be more divided. No matter what we feel or how we look or what we believe, we need to be together more than ever. But I love you guys, and thank you for letting me talk to you and for listening. I will talk more, I'm sure, soon. Probably very soon. If not today, even. But I hope that everybody has a safe and peaceful week. Please stay safe out there. It's a really crazy time. And everybody, with all the crazy weather, please be careful. I love you guys. Talk soon.